I have this problem at my in the yard. I call it mine. It's not really. I'm taking care of my mom. My dad died like 2 years ago, and I'm taking care of my mom at my parents' place. And I call it mine, but it's not really. It's the bank's. The bank owns the whole house basically, and I just pay rent. And the problem that I have at the bank's house is that there's this drainage issue that we've been dealing with, me and the bank, for like the whole time we've been here. And there's like an incline, and there's an incline, and if the water doesn't go past, there's like a fall line in between, like right near the sidewalk. And I was wondering why the yard was getting flooded. And what I discovered was, a few years back, some contractor put a pipe underground that the sump pump, the water collects in this drainage area in the basement, and then the sump pump ejects it from the house, and then you build a series of pipes to push the water away from the house. But the contractor that put the pipe in, these guys, they don't always do like the most thorough job. He just put it in the back, just in some inconspicuous area, so the water just collects there. And I was wondering why the whole backyard was kind of getting flooded, like there was just this giant pool of water for years back there. It was like kind of like a small swamp. So I started experimenting once my dad died, and I kind of took over the bank's property here. I discovered that there was this fall line after, trial and error, moving this pipe all around and still having flooding in the backyard. I discovered this fall line where if it went over a certain point, the water would go on the other side of this fall line, and then it would drain perfectly. Well, it so happens that this fall line also makes the water go onto the sidewalk, and that like really pissed some people off. There's like a couple of just like cunty women. Like I've never heard anything from any men, but there have been I've seen 3 or 4 women that are like really pissed that like this area next to the house has water on the sidewalk. And it's not like there's not like a lake, it's not like this swampy lake or anything. It's just literally like the sidewalk gets wet from the water that's being ejected out of the sump pump. So I came up with for the 4th of July, I came up with a little thing, and I'll show you guys. Okay, so here we are in the basement, and I made a new pipe. I put stars on it here, and then I put a little message on here: potential Nazi trigger. Okay. So I'll go back upstairs here, but I think I did some pretty good work. I'm gonna have to. I think I'm gonna put these quotes on here. I'm gonna use this and put quotes: potential Nazi. Potential. So you get it. It's only someone that would be the only people that would be triggered by a little bit of water on the sidewalk would potentially also be Nazis. I don't know. I thought it was kind of clever. So a couple weeks ago, I was mowing the grass, and some woman stopped me, and she started asking me about the pipe. I got like maybe a month and a half ago. First of all, someone called the city, and the city came out and they did like some kind of inspection, and I basically explained to them like that I was really going to fight it because it was a serious problem where I don't have the thousands of dollars it would require to like dig a hole and connect the sump pump up to like some pipe, some sewage drain that the city has. You know, they not only have to like dig a hole, but they got to find the pipe, and I mean, it would cost a lot. It would cost a lot of money. It would cost thousands of dollars to solve this problem, and like, you know, I'm just not going to pay that. I don't even really have a share in the house or anything. I just want to keep the yard dry for like the summer. And so this woman approaches me and starts, you know, like kind of like a typical like cunty woman. She just like what most people would consider like a what has been known now as like a Karen. She kind of like Karenly like is like, are you gonna take care of that issue with the pipe here? Are you, I mean, really with this water right here on the sidewalk? So eventually I got pretty angry about it, and I'm like, go ahead, go try to, you know, hurt yourself on the sidewalk. But I kind of lied. I told her I had a camera on the sidewalk, and I said, you know, if you file a claim and say that you tripped and fell from this water, I got a camera there, and you could go to jail for, you know, falsifying some kind of insurance claim when it comes to that stuff. And so really all she was really trying to do was she revealed herself as like the head of the homeowners association. And it's just unbelievable, like the way people act and the way that they people treat each other, like what a fucking cunt this woman was. And the reason she told me, you know, I told her just basically to go fuck herself, and then she told me, she was like, you're talking to me? Do you know I'm the president of the homeowners association? So I just beat her to the punch, and I'm like, what are you gonna do? Fucking take my house away from me? Because I put a little bit of fucking water on the sidewalk? You know, I kind of freaked out at her, but I think that you do kind of need to push back against these horrible, these cunty people, and their stupid little threats that they come at you with just to kind of push you around. And ultimately, what the potential Nazi thing is that's essentially kind of what, you know, like a Nazi is they're like a fucking douchebag. You know, they come up with any kind of reason just to push you around. So I don't think I'm gonna do the potential Nazi thing, because to be honest, I'm really kind of on thin ice with the whole world right now. Like, I don't have like any money, and if my mom dies, like, I'm literally gonna go homeless. So my situation is like pretty bad, but don't worry, I'm gonna take care of it. I do have a plan. I'm planning on going to truck school to drive a big rig, because that's like, one of the only jobs that you can get that really kind of pays you pretty well just right out of the gate. You know, they pay like, you know, $60,000 to $80,000 a year just to drive a truck around the country. And then, you know, you don't have to pay for gas or commute or anything like that. So, you know, there's no kind of indentured servitude. It's a lot of income for very little and you don't have to put a whole lot of money into getting that income. So it's a high income stream job. But so I don't know if I'm going to put the potential Nazi thing out there. I think I might spray over that and just use this as kind of like a lesson on dealing with douchebags. Like, believe me, I would, if I was in a better position financially, there's absolutely no question that I would give these people, I would do kind of like a little experiment on what these fucking crazy little czars of communities are up to. You know, like there's all kinds of crazy shit that happens in this place because, you know, like I said, this is really kind of a shithole. You know, people get killed over an argument. You know, if someone cuts you off in traffic or something, people fucking lose it and they'll pull a gun on somebody and shoot them. You know, so there's all kinds of these little skirmishes. I've even heard of other run-ins like this with people with their homeowners association, where these, you know, crazy little czar people will just absolutely lose it over something as small as a little bit of water on the sidewalk. Now, being someone that lived in the city for a couple of years, like the idea of someone really confronting you and getting angry about water being on the sidewalk when it's not raining is like absolutely incredible to me. But it's kind of one of those things that goes with the territory when you live out in the middle of fucking nowhere. So, you know, it's kind of one of those deals where when you're in a small town like this, you got to deal with small town people that are potential Nazis. And it goes back to, once again, I'm gonna release it. I'm hoping to release this video probably tomorrow. But I've got a series of videos that talks about that I've already shot that go over the importance of the Constitution and how that is like the seminal piece of work that keeps a society from descending into despotism. And the reason that is because of shit like this, where people really like, we have, like, in my last video that I just shot yesterday, I talk about the Fourth Amendment, and which is the unlawful search and seizure that deals with the police. But ultimately, this woman of the homeowners association went almost right to the Fourth Amendment. You know, she went from zero to the Fourth Amendment like almost instantly, where you put a little bit of water on the sidewalk, she doesn't want it there, she's the president of the homeowners association, she wants to fucking take your house. You know, so there's these human beings just inherently want to be these tyrannical despots. And the Constitution of the United States, the founders of the Constitution recognized this and established this baseline of rules that would say, okay, you can't fucking do that. Just because a guy puts a little bit of water on the sidewalk doesn't give you the right to fucking steal his house. You know, so like I said, I don't know if I'm gonna do the full-on potential Nazi thing in front of those despots, because I don't have any money for lawyers or anything like that. So who knows what these people would actually do. Like, I'm not sure if they would, if you know, how far they would want to take it. But that's pretty much it. So we'll see what happens.
All right, just to give you guys a little clarification on the issue here, here's a tomato plant. Here's where the water ejects from the sump pump, and here's the pipe. And usually the water goes over here and it gets stuck in this area. And it completely floods the area, and then when you try to mow the grass, then it like destroys the lawn. Like it's a little bit wet over here. And there's this area over here too where it gets like a total swamp. So I went to Menards and I built this pipe, and takes the water over here, and then right around here is the fall line. See, someone keeps moving the pipe. I put the pipe over here, and so people keep moving it. It's like these people are just like completely crazy about this fucking water that's on the sidewalk. You can see it here. It's a little bit messy, but I mean, you can imagine it's a whole fucking, I mean, Jesus Christ. So here's where I had an argument with the city, is they want it 5 feet away. So here's the 5 foot marker right here. And, they gave me a ticket for it when I had it over here. And the guy that gave me a ticket, he took the pipe and he just threw it in the yard. He tossed it in the yard over here. Basically, like, the guy was like a fucking crazy person. I called him the pipe police, and I guess he didn't like that, so he came back and he gave me a ticket. They took pictures of it and everything, and then they sent me a ticket. And then the guy threw the pipe, and he took the pipe and threw it in the yard, which is like against regulations, because in the United States you also you're innocent until proven guilty. So they have to wait until my court date to be able to confiscate the pipe. So as long as they gave me the ticket, I just said, oh, fuck it. Well, I'm just going to put it right next to the sidewalk so it completely gets rid of the water. Here, I'll show you the picture. This is the picture the guy took. That's what we're talking about here. Wet water all over the sidewalk. And look, here's what's really drives them nuts. Look at how bright and sunny it is, and how dry the rest of the sidewalks are. Oh my God. Can you imagine? I should lose my house for this. So yesterday was Friday, and I was just finishing up re-editing the video. I was doing it like all day. Those videos take it's unbelievable how much work it takes to make one of those videos. I even kind of I watch the videos so many times while editing it. I actually start to get like, I hear myself talking to someone, and I almost get a little bit tired of my voice, because I've heard myself talk so many times through those videos. So I was editing the video all day yesterday, and then maybe around like 7:30 or something, I got finished, and I was like, oh, maybe I'll mow the lawn. Well, apparently it's against the rules, to the homeowners association rules, to mow the lawn past 7 p.m. And so I'm mowing the lawn,
and the woman from the homeowners association, she comes by in her car, and I can kind of see her out of the corner of my eye, and she's just like does like a real slow roll, real slow, and then I turn the lawnmower. I'm just avoiding her, and I turn the lawnmower, and she's stopped in the middle of the road, like a total fucking psycho. Okay, so she kept going though, and I finished the lawn. I finished it. I mean, it's a fucking Friday night in the middle of the summer. You know, there's no problem with daylight or anything. It's not like anybody's kids have to go to school or anything like that. So I didn't really think it was really a major issue. But anyway, here's what happened. So I get up just like maybe a half hour ago, and I wake up to this. The pipe. Somebody took it and almost broke it off.